After the front pages, then comes the thesis, and your thesis start from the abstract page. Abstract page is like it's 16 font, bold and capitalized, and then comes the text of the abstract. Okay, so it is normal 12 font, Time New Romans, and justified, no intended, 1.5 space, and its length is like 1 or 1.5 page, like 300 to 400 words only. Okay, and there is no heading in the abstract. Also from this page, before this page, like you have to put a page breaker, because from this page you are going to start Arabic numbers. So from this page onwards, if you will put the page breaker before it, then all pages will automatically will number the Arabic numerals, and make it centralized like this format. Okay, after that abstract, then comes the chapter 1. So as you can see, the chapter 1 is on the left intended, then comes introduction, its name, it's centralized, bold, 16, then comes the text, normal text. So this section must mention different but relevant aspect of the topic under investigation, the problem statements in light of the previous research, and reasons of undertaking the study. In other words, why is this study needed? Okay, most of the students ask what's the difference in introduction and in the literature review. So these things are mentioned here by the university, and I am telling you. Okay, so please make it clear while you are writing the thesis, that in the introduction you are supposed to write about like what is the thesis topic, why you are studying on this topic. So what is the topic under investigation, the whole topic. Okay, if your topic is having 2 3 aspect, talk each and everything. Okay, and then you also must discuss about what is the problem, why you are studying on this topic, what is the problem. Okay, and if there was any previous research done, suppose if it is like neurological disorders, so you should mention like what is the problem if you are studying is in Pakistan, what's the population problem in the Pakistan, what are the already major known neurological disorders which are um, like discovered in Pakistani population, or if there are some more problems which are not discovered in the Pakistan, and then you can find more by doing the research more on the families and so on. Okay, and why there is economic need, why there is social needs to study about this topic, you can discuss about it. And so yeah, at the end you should mention like why, because when you plot all these things, of course you are coming to the conclusion that why you are undertaking the study, this particular study. Okay, one more thing, all of you, your topic should be different from each other. Why? Because all of you, some of you are working on intellectual disabilities, some of you working on neurological disorders. Both are very very vast topics, so when you are studying on it, of course you are not gonna use the same references. If by chance, that's okay, but usually it's not by chance, because too much data is available, and so much research is already done on the neurological disorders. It's important because it's a complex disorder, and the scientists still cannot find all the causes and stuff. So many things are still unknown or unsolved, so that's why there's a need to do it. Okay, as per the instructions, if you're using any major heading which is 1.1, the first level heading are left aligned, bold, and the 12 inside. Then comes the second heading. If there is second heading like 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, this should be left aligned as well, and it's 12 bold. Then comes the subheading, which is third level heading, they are also left aligned, and um, as you can see left aligned here, there is a little they're little outside. After introduction, then comes aims and objectives. This should be on a separate page. Okay, and this should be the copy paste of your synopsis. Then comes chapter 2, the next page. Chapter 2 is review of the literature. So review of the literature is, the font is same like 12 font, 1.5 spacing, Time New Romans. So what is a review of the literature means? This section include a review of the recent literature to the research on an investigation. Mostly you should use like the last 5 years research, last 5 years research articles or review articles. If you are using them, it is very good for you. If you are writing a thesis now and you are using references from 10 years back, you are not adding 2 3 or 5 references recently, then it seems like you have not done the research properly. So you must be up to date because you are using the research work. Okay, so you must use the recent references as well. Yes, you can use the old one, but the recent should also be included. Then it's important to note that the literature review should not simply mention other studies, like for example, um, Hans et al. Has mentioned that neurological disorders are of this type, they are of this percentage. Okay, so you not just copy paste them, you have to also tell them, discuss them. That's one by one. Instead, you should include an integrative discussion of the common themes. Like they have mentioned, like this, what could be done, or someone, or two or three authors have done this thing, so this thing is in common, or something like this. Okay, and you have to actually link how different has been done. And if you think after doing all the research that if there any question which is unknown, anything unknown, what should be discussed by other and have not been discussed as yet. Okay, so there can be many questions that comes in your mind and you think this is the gap in the research, no one has worked on it, this should be done. And especially you should, by discussing this, you should bring the person to your topic, that if you are doing this research on this particular thing, or so what is important, or anything you should opt out here. Okay, then comes, it should not just contain a summary of the different studies, rather you must develop your argument in the section in the light of the relevant literature. Okay, yes, you can do heading, subheading, you can also put figures of someone else and stuff to discuss, and you can tabulate different data, like different whatever genes has been discovered for this particular study, you can tabulate the data and so on. That's up to you. Whatever you're using, you have to give the references. Then comes the third chapter, methodology. You have to describe methodology in detail. Okay, before discussing methodology, let me go back to the abstract. So abstract is nothing but a summary of your work, which must include, like you have to start with the title. What is your title is like objective of your study. Okay, why you did the study. Then comes the next paragraph about the methodology, brief, like how the families were enrolled and extracted and just done, exome done by which whatever ways, and if sequencing is done and so on. Then the correlation of the phenotype and phenotype. The next paragraph is about the major findings. What is your major finding, in which gene, which exome, which position, blah blah, whatever is your finding, and whatever is the phenotype of your family that you enrolled is about your results. Okay, the last is about the conclusion, which is one or two sentences only. You have to conclude that this thesis, what have you obtained, one or two lines, that's it. At the end you can mention the keywords, anything which is from your thesis, 5 keywords are enough.